Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Arbour Park, the home of Slough Football Club. But this week it's home to the UK Armed Forces men's team who are hosting the Kentish Cup, the premier football competition in the military and one that's steeped in history, as Carl Dixon explains.
Forget Wembley, forget the Champions League.
Nailed
For
it.
over 100 years, Armed Forces personnel from across Europe have gone head-to-head for bragging rights in the Kentish Cup, the oldest competition of its kind.
Please do not get in my way. You cannot drive in my lane.
He's in the net, Barkins has scored!
You don't have nothing to say. This is how legends are made. I know I got what it takes. And I'm not pumping the brakes, and I'm not pumping the brakes. I'm too competitive. I like the narrative.
And he has scored for the French.
Comparing with that is infinitive. Top of the throne, it is me. How you moving so when it's speed?
It all started in 1919 at Chelsea's Stamford Bridge Stadium. A brilliant tournament followed, and 2 years later, the first real thing kicked off.
Back then, it wasn't called the Kentish Cup. That name came later, honouring Brigadier General Reginald J. Kentish, the British Army FA Secretary, who helped make it happen. The Army were a major part of the early tournaments, and it was the Belgians who helped found the tournament and not the Dutch as we now know it. For 66 years, it was Belgium, France and UKAF battling for glory, until the French pulled out in 1987. The Dutch stepped in and a new normal set in. Until 2006, that is. Nearly 20 years after they left, the French were back. For 2 years, all 4 teams competed in a rare knockout-style tournament before the Belgians left the party, and since then, it's been a British, French and Dutch rivalry.
But who out of the 4 teams are the best in history?
Well, tournament wins are spread pretty evenly. Belgium won it 26 times, UKAF sit on 27 successes, but France lead the way with 28 trophy lifts. That means if UKAF can win in 2025, they will match the record. The Dutch have won it 9 times, and only twice in history has the tournament been shared with a draw. In terms of dominant eras, the Belgian team's straight 8 championships from 1973 to 1980 is the longest winning run, a feat that hasn't really been close to being matched after the French stopped UKAF's momentum in 2022.
In more than a century, the Kentish Cup's only missed 10 years.
World War II shut it down from 1940 to 46. The Belgian champions even hid the trophy from the Nazis. It was cancelled in 2015 after the Paris attacks, then in 2018 when the Dutch pulled out late. Covid hit pause in 2020 and 2021, but since then it's been game on.
And those games are usually full of goals.
In fact, only 12 of the 280 recorded tournament matches have ended in a 0-0 draw. That's just 4.29% and gives the likelihood of a goalless game coming every 23.3 matches.
The last 0-0 draw exactly 23 games ago, when the French and the Dutch met in 2013.
The French are not only the most successful team in history, but they're also the most prolific. Their goal tally sits at 307 heading into this winter's tournament, 27 more than Belgium's 280 and 32 more than UKAF's 275.
In the past, some high-profile names have appeared at the tournament, especially during the national service era.
England's 1966 World Cup winner Bobby Charlton stands out for the UK Armed Forces, while 3-time Ballon d'Or winner Michel Platini starred for the French, not forgetting Jaap Stam, the big Dutch man.
Stars, goals and excitement. What more can you want from international football?
Just one more trophy lift then for UKAF to be on par with the French, but they've got the Dutch to contend with first today. Let's look back at what happened last year in the games.
It is! UKAF have the lead! Surely it's going to be in, and it is! It's a second goal for UKAF, and finally Greg Peel has scored. Proud day for everyone, and congratulations to UKAF. Warm applause from the other 2 teams. celebrate in the way you would expect.
Now, after losing the cup on UK soil, there's our last time it was played here. This team are determined to overturn that result. First, we're going to hear from the head coach, Major Joe Collins, before we join John Knighton on commentary.
Yeah, feeling really positive. Got a good group of lads that have come in. We've got a new group as well. There's only sort of 4 or 5 that have played in the last Kentish. There's about another couple that have been involved in Kentish previously, but no, a brilliant opportunity for some of the young lads we've brought in and some of the lads that are new to the services. So yeah, feeling positive, just ready to go.
Listen, when we go out, fantastic that, what we've just done with Keith and Brownie, that's the tempo. Like we said before, it's not all about the speed of how we move, it's that ball speed.
Obviously we want to carry that tradition on. We've done really well with the coaches we've had previously and the players, so you know we want to carry that tradition on of winning the UKAF, especially on the home territory. But at the same time, you know, it's football, we understand we've got to play and we've got to enjoy the competition but also get the best out of every player we've got. We know it's going to be tough, there's going to be 2 different styles of play that we play against, so we need to be able to adapt to that. Some of the young lads need to take the opportunities they've been given and step up to that environment and see where they're at, and let's see how it goes. We have a system we want to play. We know that both of them sides are technically very good. They play slightly different to the way we play in the UK, but we want to bring our fire and our power to that game. You know, let's put them on the back foot at times. Let's see what they're about. You know we have to be disciplined. It's a different style of football. You know, the way they play probably doesn't suit some of our players at times with the way we try and be physical around players, but we've also got technically gifted players, and I believe we've got good runners in this side, and that's the way that modern football is going. You need to be able to shift and move, and hopefully with the way we set up that will suit our game.
The thoughts there then of Joey Collins, the manager and head coach of the UKAF team. So they prepare, of course, in just a few moments to come out onto the pitch here at Arbour Park, the home of the Rebels, the home of Slough Town FC today. And it's Kentish Cup time once again, and after 2 years on the road in France, 2 years ago, last December, of course, at Stroul in Holland, the venue for the 2025 edition of this amazing cup competition is Slough Town FC. Well, you heard there from Joey Collins, and before that, that super piece from Kyle on the history of this wonderful Kentish Cup competition. Players on show today, of course, they have the chance to create their own bit of football history today. Keith Emerson, who's assistant head coach, I was talking to Keith a bit earlier on, he played against the De Boer brothers when Combined Services won that Kentish Cup. And that, in a way, is why it's so special. Joining me now is Captain Gaz Dunn, who is the Secretary of UKAF Football and involved a lot in, obviously, the organisation today. Gaz, great to have you alongside. And as we see the players now coming out onto the pitch ahead of the game, and obviously for the national anthems, it's such a special time, isn't it, Kentish Cup?
Yeah, thank you for having us on, John, and thank you to all you at BFBS for the support that you give us over the years. It's really much appreciated. But yeah, Kentish Cup's been going since 1921 now. We've had some, like you said before, the De Boer brothers playing, the likes of Bobby Charlton and that. So yeah, Kentish Cup's very special for us.
It really is, and you can see the players lined up. Obviously, Kentish Cup for the UKAF team in their white shirts and blue shorts, with the Dutch side in their traditional orange kit. Time now then for the national anthems. First of all, for the Dutch national anthem.
The national anthem for the United Kingdom.
So a very proud day then for everybody associated with their national forces football teams today in this Kentish Cup competition. The players just being introduced to each other now. Had some visits as well. In fact, we were going to see some VIPs being introduced, but that doesn't seem to have happened. But Brigadier Lee Drummond, of course, chair of UKAF football, along with Fraser Hampson, Heckle and Koch, who are the main sponsors of UKAF football. Let's just go through the two teams very quickly then, and starting with the Dutch. They only arrived actually here in the UK last night on a flight through from Amsterdam, so very little time for them to sort of get familiar with each other, certainly here in the UK. And talking to their head coach, Rolls van Belkom, a bit earlier on, he was saying they're a bit of a scratch lineup. There are a few familiar players in that team, including Van Boxel, wearing number 8 today for the Dutch. He scored the goal against the UKAF team in that game in Holland last year, which of course UKAF went on to win by 2-1. Lansing in goal with Valriads, Adriaans and De Haas and Leemans. Again, he's a familiar player. Brink and Wardiner, Bulk, Van Boxel, Mouton and Wardiner make up the first starting 11 then, although of course they're not wearing numbers 1 to 11. As far as UKAF are concerned, well, Joey Collins has really got a combination of youth and experience in his team, and he's been very anxious, I think, hasn't he, Gaz, to bring in a lot of newcomers if he possibly can, but to sort of balance that with some experience as well.
Yeah, that's very much the case. We've been very unlucky with injuries, and also we lost Luke Kearney, for example, on Saturday in a game where he was playing for his civilian club. And then it's also now with the way the armed forces is, how busy we are, getting players released can also be a battle in itself at times.
But interesting to see that obviously at the back, very much a familiar back four for UKAF, with Los McCormick in goal, with Brodie Gray, Phil Bright and Mark Drysdale. They all know all about the Kentish Cup, don't they? As of course does Elliot Holmes and Mikey Campbell, the captain. So lots of experience there, but to bring in some of these new players as well, like Alfie Rogers, Sam Dawson wearing number 6 today, Ryan Kenyon and Jack Barber, with George Bishop as well. So there we go. We're now going to have a minute's silence though, which is going to be in remembrance of a wonderful servant of military football throughout his career with the Royal Navy, Lieutenant Commander Steve Vazu. We very sadly lost Steve just a few weeks ago. His funeral is actually taking place on Wednesday. So our referee then, our French referee, who is Faisal Boujada, is the man in the middle today, and his assistants Don Freund and Ryan Hefferington as well. But Lovely thoughts there about Steve Vasey, Gaz, who was what a wonderful servant he was to military football.
Yeah, he was. The amount of work Steve put in with combined services and the Navy was instrumental, to be honest with you. The support he's given us over the years, he will be a sad miss to service football for sure.
Well, sad miss to everyone, and thoughts with his family may be watching today, and we send you our very best wishes as well in what's going to be a very difficult week for the Vasey family, and indeed for Royal Navy and UKAF football as well. Steve, so much loved by everybody involved with the game down at Portsmouth with the Royal Navy. So we are just about ready to kick off. It'll be the Dutch who'll be getting us underway here in their orange shirts, kicking from left to right as we watch, looking towards the main stand here at Slough Town FC. And the man to get us underway is Brink. And this 4G pitch here, which was very well used earlier on. Lots of young people were here during a half-term holiday having some good training sessions. Good to see lots of youngsters making use of the facilities here at Slough. These 4G pitches are magnificent for all that. It means they can be used all the year round. But here's Ryan Kenyon for UKAF. Good early touch for him on the right-hand side of the field. He'll take the 1-2, gets the crossover, and very close on the end of it was Mikey Campbell, but it's just gone out of play in the end. Phil Bright couldn't keep it in. But a good start for UKAF, Gaz.
Yeah, good start. Getting on the front early there, and I think that's a good thing we've got here. We've got a bit of pace out wide. We'll be able to get the ball in the middle and see if we can get something earlier.
Bjorn Lansing then getting his first touch of the ball. The Dutch goalkeeper, seem to remember him from last year. Takes the 1-2, gets the ball back, and the Dutch will build slowly in the normal sort of Dutch way, but they do have a bit of a disadvantage, the Dutch team, in that they're a bit of a scratch team, I think, Gaz. So UKAF will fancy their chances here, but they'll know that the Dutch, if you remember from last year, were very good on the break.
Yeah, we got caught out on the break last year when they got their goal. But yeah, the thing with the Dutch is they do like to build up from the back. They do take the time, but the point is if we sit there and sit in a low block, they're gonna hit us on the break.
Nice work from Campbell there. Just feeding it and collected in the end by De Haas. He spreads it wide onto this right-hand side with Leemans wearing number 6. Their captain is Velrads. He's wearing number 16. He's on the ball now.
It does look like the UKAF are playing a free at the back here, maybe with Brighty on the left dropping go into a back 5 maybe when we lose the ball. But yeah, Joey seems to settle for back 3 here.
That's been a standard practicing over the last few years with UKAF, and it's certainly paid dividends. If you look back over the last 10 years, UKAF have totally dominated this competition. Only once have the French threatened. It was actually in the end it was UKAF hadn't lost the game. It ended up as a draw, but I think it was just goal difference that won it. But here come UKAF making early ground in these early moments of the game. Dutch picking it up, and Phil Bright just shields it away. Good work from the defence. Bright gets it back again. Good early touch for him. Back to his goalkeeper, to Los McCormick, another experienced servant of UKAF football. Be good to see interesting to see how the newcomers bed in quickly into this team. They've had about a week together, haven't they, Gaz? To really get to know each other.
Yeah, so we had a camp last week down in Aldershot where they had a chance to do a bit of team building and a bit of tactics and time together. And then we've had a couple of friendlies as well in September, which was good to bed in the team, just as a new management team under Joey, as well as the players, to be honest with you.
Nice through ball. It's a chance for the Dutch. Bit of a clumsy challenge. Referee has given the free kick just outside the box. That was difficult for Mark Drysdale there, and it was the number 7 Bulk who was going in there. Cornell Bulk. It was just an awkward bounce of the ball, wasn't it? Bulk actually fell in the penalty area in the end. Maybe think he could have got a bit more out of that one.
Yeah, I think Fraser's done well there. Dom would have helped him out a bit on the sidelines as well, just confirming that was definitely a foul tackle outside the area. So yeah, good spot by Fraser, and glad he gave the correct decision there.
Being a referee yourself, of course, you'll be taking a very close eye on how the officials get on today. Good to have a good combination of the three international teams here, but this is a difficult situation for UKAF. The Dutch then have this free kick. It's right on the edge of the box. And floated in. Oh, and it's off the post. What an opportunity that was for the Dutch. Well, they came so close there with that one. The free kick went right through the wall, and it was the post that saved the UKAF. Only it's a 3-man wall, and so very close then for the Dutch. I mean, all you can say is that Los McCormack got his wall absolutely right, because if the wall had been incorrect then, the Dutch might have been in. But they have a chance now, again, breaking on the Neville Bulk. Well collected, though, by Mark Drysdale in the end. He plays the ball out wide, but the Dutch still threatening here in these early moments. Looking very solid, looking very on the ball. That's nice work then from Van Boxel.
Yeah, UKAF just need to try and settle down and just go with this for a bit, because the Dutch have got the tails up at the moment. A couple of great chances there, especially with the free kick, and then obviously then on the break then again.
Yeah, it could have caused real damage, that, but say, going back to Los McCormack's wall there, certainly did its job, because although the ball got through, it was his maths were absolutely spot on. Yeah. Here's Bright on the left-hand side, looking to try and put his strikers in position there. Goalkeeper came right off his line to deny Ryan Kenyon and Mikey Campbell. A lively opening then to this Kentish Cup game. Just over 6 minutes played here, and already the Dutch have shown that they could be dangerous. Using the width of the pitch early on for them. It's Velrads just holding on to it. Finds Adriance. Gordinia spreads it wide again. And good early moments for the Dutch. UKAF looking for an offside decision. Didn't come.
Yeah, Dom, if the ball had dropped to one of their players there, Dom had seen that they were both offside and would have flagged if there was interference there for definite. Could have been sat in this position here, John.
Yeah. Don Frean, who's well known to us. He's been involved with the officiating, I think, for this before, hasn't he, Gaz, over the years?
Yeah, Don's brilliant. He actually operates on the equivalent to the Premier League over in Holland. So yeah, top class official is Don.
Personally selected, no doubt.
Yes, definitely.
Dutch showing all this early promise though, and that's a lovely through ball, really well handled in the end. Great defensive work from Alfie Rogers there. The referee has awarded a corner. I think Alfie maybe thought he was fouled then, but the decision has gone against him, and the first corner of the game goes to the Dutch forces, and that'll be taken by Moonen. Jimmy Moonen goes over onto that far side to take it. UKAF eventually getting it cleared, and that's a lovely ball, just to trying to find there Mikey Campbell. Dutch though once more just showing these early signs. They look very comfortable on the ball, don't they, Gaz, in these early moments?
Yeah, they do. I think this is probably the best I've seen the Dutch start in any fixture over the last 3 or 4 years while I've been involved in UKAF. Definitely started well, and hopefully we can let them have the ball now and try and step onto them in the next 5-10 minutes.
Dutch enjoying the best possession. Campbell tries to put the challenge in, but De Haas does well, spreads it wide onto that left-hand side, as we're watching here. And they're certainly prepared to use the flanks. The Dutch, well headed by Phil Bright there. He's 32 years old now. Quite surprised. I thought he was just a young spring chicken, but he's 32. I'm sure his mum and dad are watching. His family usually tune in and join us for our coverage here of the Kentish Cup football. But been an absolute mainstay in this UKAF team, of course, and also with the RAF. The chase on for George Bishop. That's going to roll, I think, harmlessly out of play in the end for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bright's a great player. Like you say, been involved in UKAF a long time now, and he was vice captain last year. And yeah, it's good to keep Bright in the team. He's got some great pace, got a great left foot. So yeah, good to see Brighty back in the team.
Thanks a lot for joining us wherever you are today around the world. We do get shout outs from all over the world, not just the Forces world. And just a message there, I think, from Holland saying Woodiner, he's going to be man of the match. So we'll find out. We'll see whether you're right on that one. He's number 10, by the way, wearing the number 10 shirt for the Dutch Forces today. And a few other messages, lots of goodwill messages for UKAF. So they look to defend this famous old trophy. Just keeping possession, just doing their bit at the moment with Mark Drysdale. And here's Bright. Tries to put an early cross in. Campbell. Nicely collected by Jack Barber. Out onto that right-hand side of the pitch. Brodie Gray, another real mainstay of UKAF football that we've seen over the years. He had an excellent tournament 12 months ago out there in Holland. He'll lead the throw-in, though, to Alfie Rogers, who again is one of the newcomers. Alfie from Birmingham. Army under-23 players, a West Ham fan, so not particularly happy with life at the moment. Header comes in. That's a good first attempt then from UKAF there with Mike Campbell.
Yeah, I think that Alfie throw could be a bit of a danger, I think, for the Dutch.
Yeah.
Good decision there, Don, for offside.
In fact, Alfie was telling us earlier on his favourite player is Keith Emerson.
He's definitely after something.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's just a bit of brown nosing perhaps, but he's also played alongside Jude Bellingham when they were kids. So he's got a decent pedigree.
Yeah, definitely.
Dawson. Here's Jack Barber.
Yeah, starting to get our foot on the ball a bit now and starting to put a bit of pressure on the Dutch.
Yes, good patient play then from UKAF. But Campbell collects it on the edge of the penalty area. Bit of head tennis. Campbell, chance opportunity to score, and he has done. Well, there was a bit of a mix-up at the back there for the Dutch, and Mikey Campbell said thank you very much indeed, and UKAF have an early lead, really their first proper attempt on goal, and it has yielded a goal. Mikey Campbell, UKAF 1, the Dutch 0.
Oh, it's great to see that. First proper clear-cut chance we've had there, and we've taken it. Like I say, I think the Dutch had the best part of the play for the first 10 minutes, but then I think the last 2 or 3 minutes we've definitely stepped onto them and really deserved that goal there.
Well, what a great boost that is for UKAF. It's their first real sort of attempt. Really, you were just saying that they were just getting into the game, they were getting their possession, they were really starting to dictate the play, and it's yielded a goal. UKAF 1, the Dutch Armed Forces 0.
I think if Joey was saying anything now, it's just like, let's keep it tight. Let's keep it tight for the next 5 minutes, keep doing what we've been doing, and let's see if we can then push on in about 10 minutes' time and get another.
Just a defensive mistake at the back there for the Dutch, and it's cost them. And Captain Campbell does the biz. Referee says that was a foul.
Yeah, I think he tried to play advantage there, and then he's brought it back.
There was no advantage in the end.
No advantage. So Fraser just tried to see if anything could break forward for the Netherlands team there, but obviously not. So he's come back for the free kick.
Well, it's a perfect start for Joey Collins and the UKAF team and Keith Emerson and everyone attached to it. And I'm not lying when I say that Garcia did raise a little arm in celebration when that goal went in.
Yeah, that's the problem. I try not to officiate in these games, to be honest with you.
Well, we can call it a bit of a scouting mission as well as a co-commentary for us today. Dutch win the throw-in, much to the annoyance of Joey Collins right in front of his dugout there. He's just telling the referee what he thinks. But the Dutch trying to put the pressure on, UKAF having to just defend. It's always a dangerous time, isn't it, when you've scored a goal to concede. In fact, I think that happened 12 months ago. The UKAF did take an early lead. The Dutch worked their way back into the game and got the equaliser just before half-time. So UKAF hoping that lightning will not strike twice.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think they're just going back to that little chance there for the Dutch. The composure of Brighty there to just get the ball and not just hoof it clear, just actually look to play to a player. It's testament to his experience there.
If you're just joining us live here on our Forces News YouTube channel, good news as far as UKAF are concerned. Mikey Campbell, after a quarter of an hour, has put them ahead in this Kentish Cup game. Just exactly the sort of start that Joey would have wanted. It's quite funny, this time last year we were celebrating Joey Collins getting his Lifetime Achievement Award for the Army Sports Awards, and here he is with the opportunity to mastermind UKAF in the Kentish Cup. It's funny how life turns out, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think the work that Joey's done for the Army over the years is brilliant. Everything from every representative team we've got, and he totally deserved that Lifetime Experience Award. And then now stepping into UKAF, and hopefully he can lead us on to another successful tenure.
It's interesting, but sort of talking a bit earlier that probably in the early days, because obviously the original Kentish Cup was British Army only, and in the early days when it became a combined services team, I think the players used to sort of sit separately, didn't they? And there was not a lot of sort of forces camaraderie, if you like. It was more sort of, we'll do our way and you do your bit. But that's all changed now, and that has really one of the things that's led to success. That putting on this UKAF shirt is so important. It's the pinnacle of any service footballer's career.
Yeah, 100%.
At this level.
Yeah, 100%, John. I think. I'll just let this one go. No, I think Brighty's going to let that up. Yeah, the opportunity to represent your armed forces in an international fixture is actually the pinnacle of sport, in my opinion, in the armed forces.
That's some lovely work then on this near side from George Bishop there. Brilliant turn of foot and nice little combination with Ryan Kenyon there. And UKAF have turned defence into attack.
Yeah, just going back to your camaraderie bit there, John, it's absolutely brilliant. What we've got in the Kentish Cup, we have in the Bundeswehr fixture in the Irish Defence Force as well. So we're very... Oh, I thought he was going to give a foul there. Yeah, we're very lucky that we work with some great teams across Europe, and the stuff that we've built now, we're a bit of defence engagement, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's excellent. Good work from Barber there, and more good work then from Alfie Rogers there. These are young players, new players coming into this UKAF setup, and they're all doing really well so far, the newcomers. We've just seen some great work there from Rogers, and before that Ryan Kenyon and George Bishop as well, really doing a terrific job for UKAF, and cementing this lead that they have, this 1-0 lead. I'm sure that Joey would love another goal before half-time, but at the moment 1-0, and that's good enough for UKAF. Of course, on Wednesday we've got the French team. They'll be coming into this competition for the first time. They'll be playing the Dutch here on this ground. Again, we'll be showing you that live here on our Forces News YouTube channel. And then on Friday, it's the final match in the series when UKAF will play the French. So who knows how that will go. Campbell again chasing a 1-2. This time the Dutch defender gets in there first. But UKAF got a real spring in their step now. That goal is just, they're half a yard faster, aren't they, than they were right at the beginning.
Yeah, we seem to have settled now into our game. I think the first, like I say, 5-10 minutes, I think the Dutch had the better of the play. But yeah, we've definitely settled into this now, and hopefully, like you say, let's see if we can push on and get a second goal to put a bit of comfort between us and them.
The Dutch coming forward again. That'll be safely in the hands of McCormick. Just bowing down to the Dutch challenge there from their number 18, who is Brink. Don't have a Christian name for him. I wasn't even given one by the Rolls van Balkom earlier on. I think that he's one of those players that that is quite new into the lineup. He's a big lad though, and he can get his head on something. But only one corner so far, only one set piece movement for the Dutch from the corner. They had a free kick which hit the post very early on in the match, which certainly had everyone beaten. But it doesn't count as a shot on target, of course.
No, it doesn't. That is very true. But yeah, they have got some height in them, the Dutch as well. We were actually talking about this morning. So they've definitely got a danger from set plays.
Lovely ball from Phil Bright, and Campbell hooks it over. Real danger in the box here. Oh, and it's just gone wide again. Well, what an opportunity that was for UKAF to double their lead there. It was a great chase from Mike Campbell. On the end of it was Ryan Kenyon. He hooked it back. UKAF thinking they should have got a penalty out of that perhaps, but the referee said no. Ryan Kenyon still down on the floor. He's going to get a bit of treatment perhaps, but it was very, very close. It was touch and go there. It was a lovely through ball from Phil Bright, and once again, Mikey Campbell on the end of it. The goalkeeper really had no idea where it was going. It did go wide. Kenyon got on the end of it, managed to hook it back. And I think it was Sam Dawson who tried to put the ball in. But this is nice stuff from UKAF here, beginning to dominate possession. But the Dutch coming forward themselves now with Brink, but robbed by Mark Drysdale. Here's Sam Dawson, Big Sam. Wide then into Brodie Gray. And here's Dawson again. But the wing back's really working for UKAF at the moment. It's three at the back with the two wing backs really spreading the play and making it look very smooth for UKAF. Rogers. The chase is on for it from Elliot Holmes.
That's unlucky by Elliot.
Yeah. There's another player with great experience at this level. That will only go as far as Phil Bright, who will take on his defence. He'll take on two players. He's brought down. That's a free kick.
Yeah, again, chances coming our way still. Keep pressing. They definitely look dangerous on the break, the Dutch, but hopefully if we can just keep this pressure on and get this second goal.
Well, a second goal would make all the difference, wouldn't it, to UKAF here? They've enjoyed. I mean, since they scored, they've enjoyed, the lion's share of possession, and will feel that a second goal they'd be worth that at this stage in the game. Approaching half hour, 25 minutes gone here, and free kick strikes the wall. That'll be a corner to UKAF, their first corner of the game. Very interesting to see what they can make out of this. Brodie Gray's come over from his right back position to take the corner, which will be an in-swinger, I would hazard a guess. There's some big lads there at the back, but there's also some big strikers there, some defenders going in for UKAF as well. Corner comes over. The wind carried it across, and it's headed towards goal there by Sam Dawson. The Dutch trying to get themselves away and try to maybe hit UKAF on the break. They've certainly brought players forward. It's a good challenge in the back, and for the Dutch, it's Balk again on that. Ball went out of play quickly for a throw-in, which they've taken maybe a little bit too quickly. UKAF then have the chance once more to break. Move breaks down though. Well, yeah, I think that was a fair cop there.
Yeah, you can't complain about that one. Referee's always going to give that.
It was Wardina who went down, or Denier I should say, who went down on the free kick, and captain Barads will take it. Just plays it across field. The Dutch, with their patient play, rather playing into the UKAF hands, who obviously keeping their very much their formation and keeping that tight. Not a lot of space for the Dutch to really make any serious ground. But saying that, tight challenges there, which UKAF eventually win, and the challenge goes forward again. And Mike Campbell is clear on this left-hand side. He's looking for some support in the penalty area, crosses it over, and the Dutch are able to clear it in the end. But Campbell just really showing how dangerous he can be. And is he really 35 years old?
Yeah, he's got a bit of pace about him still, even though he's 35. That's 2 or 3 times now he's managed to get into the channel or through on goal. So yeah, hopefully he can keep that up, and hopefully one of them will drop again and he gets a chance that he's already proven he can take.
So nearly at the half-hour stage then here in Slough, with UKAF leading this Kentish Cup tie by 1-0. And it is Mikey Campbell who got the goal on a quarter of an hour after a defensive mix-up for the Dutch. Let them in, and he took the chance with open arms.
Yeah, it seems like UKAF are quite happy for him to have it in these sort of areas, and then when they need to press, they'll press collectively and put the pressure on. To be honest with you, I think the Dutch are doing really well, to be honest with you, considering they're down a lot of players. Some players I know the manager said he'd not even seen yet, really. So yeah, good start by us at UKAF, but Dutch definitely showing how good they can be at times.
Yeah, they've got some nice control of the ball, but it's a question really of whether they can turn that into any meaningful chances. They've had one so far, which struck the post from that free kick, but nothing much more to trouble Los McCormick so far.
Yeah, I think at this stage, I think Keith and Joey are both going to be happy with this. I think got that early goal in the first 10 minutes, been quite solid since, and like you say, other than that one that's hit the post, the Dutch haven't really created anything yet.
Let's just needing a bit of help is Ordenier. How to play the ball goes, throw in to the Dutch. Parallel with the 18-yard box. And they're going for the long throw, perhaps. Well, it's easily cut out in the end by Jack Barber.
Oh, here comes the Dutch now.
Yeah, break down this right-hand side, but well dealt with by Alfie Rogers there. He's still handling it. But the danger seems to have been brought under control. Barber brings it forward. That's a lovely through ball, and a real chase on then from Elliot Holmes. Back to Brody, back to Gray.
That's a great ball by Jake, that. Open him up down that right-hand side into Holmesy.
Drysdale. Cross ball then to Dawson. And lovely control there from Bishop. He's looked a really strong player as George Bishop. Well, Bright's cross doesn't make it, but it wins them another corner.
Yeah, I definitely think Alfie's a threat here. Nearly got on it last time, so hopefully we can find him and try and get this second goal from this set piece.
So Brodie Gray will go over there. It was a decent corner, actually, his first one. Let's see what he can make of this. Again, using the in-swinger. Headed clear by the Dutch in the end. And that's lovely work from UKAF, winning it back again. Cross goes in, and it's cleared out of the ground in the end by Bob Leymans.
Yeah, we've been quite lucky today as well, John. We've got a few of our sponsors here today as well, which is good, including our continued support from the single services as well, with Graham and Vince here today. Steve obviously can't make it at the moment due to the fact of the passing of Steve this week.
Ball comes out. It's a beautiful shot, and it's a brilliant goal from George Bishop. Well, that was magnificent. A fantastic second goal. There was no goalkeeper was going to stop that one. The ball comes out to him on the edge of the box, and Bishop rifles it with his right foot. It's 2-0.
Yeah, that's quality. Well happy with that now. Joey and Keith will be really happy that now we've got that cushion. We can continue playing the way we're playing. I think it's a great finish, that right foot from the edge of the area. That's probably about 20 yards out. So, yeah.
Beautiful effort. You could just see it just fell perfectly for him on his right foot. He leathered it, and goalkeeper Lansing, I don't think he even saw it as it flew into the net. What a fantastic second goal, and that second goal for UKAF really is going to be big news for them. They've dominated the game so far in terms of their possession, and they've made the most of two great chances. They lead 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's the key bit at the moment is, yes, the Dutch have had that one or two chances. The difference is we've had two chances as well, two clear-cut chances, and we've actually taken them, which is really good to see, and I think we'll all be pleased with that.
Well, you can see that that will not have had a brilliant effect, obviously, on the Dutch team. They'll be trying desperately to get back into this if they can, but the way it's going at the moment, UKAF very confident.
Yeah, obviously they knew they'd lost a few players coming into this, and I think the work they've done last week together and the teamwork as well as on the pitch, I think has really helped them going into this tournament. So hopefully now we can build on this, keep going, and hopefully get some goals.
Well, the Dutch have it at the moment, but it's UKAF just sort of like just a half a yard quicker, I think, when it comes to the tackle. Something maybe the Dutch weren't expecting. Their captain Velraz, he's got a big job to do now to make sure that it doesn't become a massive score against them. 2-0 is manageable. It's a dangerous score in many ways, isn't it? 2-0.
Yeah, obviously they always say, don't they? Next goal's critical. When it's sat at 2-0, you're either killing the game or you're going to lift the opposition's team. I think of my team, Sheffield United, at the weekend when that happened against Preston. But what I will say about the Dutch is they do look dangerous, that ball over the top. There's 2 or 3 times where we've had to really deal with it, and luckily so far we've been able to, but they're definitely dangerous with that ball over the top.
Well, lovely bright autumn sunshine here in Slough now. The sun's certainly shining on our UK Armed Forces team at the moment as they lead by 2-0. We've played, nearly 35 minutes here, and 2 great goals for UKAF to give them the lead. And I'm sure that Joey and Keith will be absolutely thrilled to bits with the way that their players have really performed and stepped up here really produced the goods when it really mattered. Defending very well too. There's not a lot really going on for the Dutch up front. They've broken through a couple of times, but nothing really has got past that excellent back three, really, with Alfie Rogers, Mark Drysdale, Sam Dawson doing a great job at the back.
Yeah, that's true. So Ryan Heffington, then the AR on the far side, putting his flag up for an offside a bit prematurely. The referee's quite happy to let that go because no interference in play there.
Brighton Bishop and George Bishop, what a start he's made here to his UKAF career for the team with that thunderous goal, and he's also had some great possession. Dutch now coming forward on that right-hand side, that left-hand side rather, but brilliantly won by Alfie Rogers. Ball goes wide onto the left here. Phil Bright again. Got great vision. Plays the ball into some space in the box, and he'll chase after it again. He's great at winning back lost causes, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a great engine in him as well. Doesn't stop, does Brighty. So yeah, he's done well there to win the ball back and keep possession for UKAF.
Kenyon and to Bishop. Safely back to Rogers. And Brodie Gray. And Rogers again. And this is Mark Drysdale.
Definitely settled into this game now, I think. And I think that second goal's really helped us.
I think they're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? They're enjoying their football. They've got some space. And, well, that was a shot come cross from Ryan Kenyon, which certainly troubled goalkeeper Bjorn Lansink. Had to be on his mettle there to save that one.
So here's that dive ball again over the top. Definitely looking for that ball every time, I think, at the moment. I think they've worked out that they can't really break through us on the floor, so I think they're now having to try and go a bit over the top every now and again. Because at the moment, I think that's everything they've got in their locker at the moment, till half-time maybe, until the manager can have a conversation with them.
Yeah. Rolls van Belcom, who's a great friend of ours at BFBS, always really supportive, and he's joined us on commentaries before. We've done matches with the French, and he's really very much behind this Kentish Cup. And it's always good to see that the Dutch support it so well. Of course, the original members of the Kentish Cup were the French and the Belgians and the British Army. And I think at one stage there were 4, weren't there, involved when the Dutch joined. And it was the French and the Belgians too, and to have a 4-way competition would be amazing. You know, to have a sort of 2 semi-finals and in fact in a final.
Yeah, to be honest, John, it's something we're looking at the moment. We are in conversation with a couple of countries about growing the size of the Kentish Cup at the moment.
Beautifully headed clear from Alfie Rogers, that free kick. Lovely ball. Campbell's going to be chasing that one. And you know what? He's won it, although unfairly, said the referee in the end. Well, it was 6-1 half a dozen of the other, wasn't it, really? And referee Faisal decided that it should go to the defensive team.
Yeah, so as soon as an attacking player does that to a defender, defender's going to take that contact and go down. I think even as players, I think they know that. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. And Faisal's made a decision there that he thinks that's a foul and has given the push in the back.
And it remains 2-0. 5 minutes, etc., left in this first half, with maybe a little bit of extra stoppage time. I haven't really there haven't been too many stoppages at all, have there? Really, Gaz? You know, it's been very fast-flowing game.
Yeah, definitely not much stoppages at all. I'll be currently not expecting more than a minute off Faisal, to be honest with you. And there's that ball again, but UKAF dealt with it again through Brodie. Yeah,
Brodie Gray. Not a lot's got past him so far on that right-hand side.
And I think that's where we started really well, John. I think, yes, they had that chance early on, but I think Alfie, Brodie, Mark and everyone have been quality at the back there so far.
Was a bit of a wake-up call, I think, wasn't it? As Connell Bulk trying the shot there, but nothing to trouble the UKAF defence. And Brodie Gray does really well again, steals that one, and that's a foul.
Yeah, that's a painful one, that. I think he's caught him on the Achilles a little bit there.
Yeah, and not a good one for George Bishop there, but he's up and about. Yeah, 22 years old, from Eastleigh, Combat Marines and PTI, central midfield PTI, Liverpool fan, has played with Harvey Elliott. So there you go.
Oh wow, you're picking all the teams at the moment that aren't doing very well.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned Leicester City yet. One of the guys actually, I think, is a huge fan of Jamie Vardy, who of course he used to play for Leicester. But none of us are having a particularly good time at the moment, are we?
No, definitely not. My team's definitely not. Lost to Preston after being 2-0 up at the weekend, so all good there.
Sheffield United will be okay. You've got the manager that you keep paying off and he keeps coming back again.
Yeah, I know. Most expensive manager in the world, I think.
He really is. Yeah, he actually quite likes being sacked because he gets these huge payoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
almost as good as Postecoglou.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad. That's looked offside to me there, Don.
Well, it was nice control. Lovely control from the central striker, from Colonel Bulk, and the shot comes in the end from Adriance, and nothing to trouble Los McCormack in the end.
I wish we had a replay on that, cause from our position, and I'm not dead in line, and that, trust me, that does make a big decision as an AR. He did look offside there, but Don's in the best position. He obviously saw it and didn't think that was offside.
Drysdale. Out once again. Nice 1-2 with Phil Bright. And UKAF spreading the play very nicely across from right to left. Ball goes through, it's a through ball, and eventually it's cut out by Marcel Valrez, who's the Dutch captain. And that will be UKAF's third corner of the game. And this time it's Phil Bright who's going to go across from the left-hand side, again for an in-swinging corner, one assumes.
Yeah, he's got great left foot as Brighty. I guess he'll be looking at Mark or Alfie at the back post, and hopefully they can get a header on target here.
So both arms raised aloft. Bit of movement in the box. Oh, and this... well, you can't get it right every time. And George Bishop, I think he was confidence right up there, but it was a great bit of movement from Elliot Holmes there. He knew it was going to be a low corner. He charges in, makes the space, and Elliot and George Bishop there with the shot. Nothing to trouble the goalkeeper this time, but we all know that if he latches onto it, it's going to be in the back of the net.
Yeah, you won't want to see that one again, I don't think. I think he might get a bit of jip for that one, but no, don't shoot, don't score. Unlucky there. Oh, it's good press there by UKAF.
The UKAF press has been excellent, and so they're just half a yard quicker at the moment. They're just faster on the ball. Exemplified there by Elliot Holmes.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it helped them coming in at about 9 o'clock last night on their flight, to be honest with you.
Lovely touch from Barber. Out right to the right-hand side. The cross comes in. Oh, and Campbell's so nearly there. And he's kicking himself because he knows that was so nearly a third goal. If he connected with that, it would have been in the net. No problem.
That's a great cross, that. What every striker wants, isn't it? Between the goalkeeper and the defender running onto it. Yeah, he's a bit unlucky there.
A lovely bit of work there from Jack Barber. Just the jink, and then he touches it out onto the right-hand side. And Elliot Holmes with the cross. Lovely stuff. We've seen some beautiful football from UKAF here. They're not just winning this game, but they're playing some terrific stuff here. I'm sure Brigadier General Kentish would be very proud if you were watching this at the moment.
Yeah, that's very true. I think the last half hour, I think we've played some quality football at times.
It's been really good. They've just got to make sure that they stay solid at the back. The Dutch are obviously going to be pushing. They won't be wanting to get back into this game. UKAF just got to play it sensibly here. Again, that sensible play from Bishop then, just taking the heat out of the game. And we are getting much into stoppage time territory here, so it's really a question of how much Faisal wants to play. He's not looked at his watch yet, so we've still got a couple of minutes left to go. Dutch enjoying some possession here, and that's a nicely worked ball. It's not hooked out of the ground by UKAF. Just got to deal with this, which they do. Bishop, lovely turn again. He's shown some lovely touches of the ball. He's still going.
That's a great advantage by the referee there.
Yeah.
Well done. That's a great turn by Bishop in the middle.
Well impressed with Bishop. He's been terrific in this first half. Not just the goal, but look at him now. Lovely stuff, right to left. This time he's got Campbell outside him.
Yeah, Bishop's definitely grown into this game as it's gone on, I think.
He's really enjoying himself. And Drysdale. And Dutch really chasing, just chasing the ball at the moment. And it's so tiring, isn't it, when you don't have the ball. You're working twice as hard to try and get that ball back.
Yeah, 100%. That old cliche, isn't it, where you make the ball do the work rather than you, and when you've got the possession of the ball, it just makes it a lot easier.
But it's a really polished, but this is one of the best performances I think that I've seen from a UKAF team. First half, brilliant performance from them. But they've just got to make sure they don't let things slip. The goal before half-time for the Dutch, and that would really give them a boost. But not looking like they're going to do it at the moment. Here's Jack Barber again. Barber goes down, wins the free kick. This could be one of the last kicks of the game in this first period. Very satisfactory indeed. If you're just joining us on our Forces News YouTube channel this afternoon, great to have your company. It's turning into a pretty decent afternoon for the team wearing the white shirts of UKAF. Leading by 2-0. Mikey Campbell and George Bishop with the goals. Bishop's certainly worth watching. Again, beautifully taken, and as was Campbell's too. So the free kick comes in low, but straight at the goalkeeper, straight at Bjorn Lansing in the end. He makes the save, and we carry on. Nice header from Phil Bright there. And that indeed is the last action of this first half, and well, the word satisfactory certainly comes to mind, Gaz, but a lot more than that. It's been a terrific first half for UKAF.
Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. We definitely would have took this at the start of the game, 2-0 cushion at half time. I think first 5-10 minutes, I think the Dutch did really well. I thought they had a lot of the possession, had a couple of chances, and then since then UKAF's dominated. They've managed to keep possession a lot, get a few chances, and the big one is they've actually took the chances and been very clinical when they've got in front of goal.
So it's half-time then here at Slough Town FC, with UKAF very comfortably in command of this game. They lead by 2-0 at half-time. The first one really picking up a mistake from the back. Mikey Campbell hooking onto it and putting the ball in the back of the net after a quarter of an hour. And then George Bishop with a beautiful drive 20 yards out to really cement the lead that UKAF have well deserved from their first half performance. They lead by 2-0 at half time. We've got the second half, of course, coming your way here in this Kentish Cup game. But before that, during the half-time sequence, let's begin by looking back at some of the classic goals that have been scored in the history of this Kentish Cup. A real chase on then, and can he keep that ball in play? Yes, he can. Great work then.
Great one from Joe Spalding.
And that's in the net! It's a goal for UKAF.
Great goal.
Oh, and it's an equaliser, and guess who scored it? It's Jake Gosling. too. Nice bit of play and a lovely shot, and it's a beautiful equaliser for the Dutch from Vincent Hoekstra.
Gosling's breakthrough. It's 2-0. Brilliant play. Brilliant play once again.
But the Dutch now with a real opportunity, but and the flag has not gone down. A chance for them to equalise, and they have got the equaliser. Vincent to Bright. Bright gets a telling ball through. Here's Ayat. Surely it's going to be in, and it is. It's a second goal for UKAF, and finally Greg Peel has scored. Danny Kerr. Great shot and a great goal! Oh, that was a fantastic goal, and it was Sam Atkinson.
Back in the game.
Absolutely brilliant. Flipped it into the penalty area. On the end of it is the big man, and it's Jack has got in there. Jack Wright. And now very quickly brought forward by the French. That's a fantastic ball forward. Aim for the number 9, Moenza, who knows how to score. And in at the back is the number 20, and he has scored for the French. Well, the opening goal scored by Jonathan Lesage. Really nice work again. Kerr on the edge of the penalty area. He goes for another shot, and he gets another goal! Well, that was brilliant from Danny Kerr.
The British military might fight together to defeat our enemies, but when it comes to sport, it's strictly British Army versus Royal Navy versus Royal Air Force. Anyone can watch it for free.
We beat both teams, and I had my dad there to watch me as well.
It was probably when I was back at school, so not too long ago. It's been an honour ever since, and I'm lucky to play every year.
Elliot Holmes, and this will be my third Kentish Cup. My first one, 2023, over in France. Beat the French 2-1, I think, and the Dutch 5-3. Yeah, it was special, really was.
I'm Luke Kearney, and I've been in the Kentish Cup for 12 years now. My favourite Kentish Cup moment was back in 2012 when I first got selected, roughly 12-13 years ago. It was an absolute honour, and it's been an honour ever since, and I'm lucky to play every year, so yeah.
Probably 2016 one, it was when I made my debut. It was at Ceremonial, a venue I'd never been at before, and to win it on British soil was quite special, and to make my debut was really special, both the French and the Dutch.
I'm couple Phil Bright. This will be my 4th Kentish. My favourite, either 2 years ago in France, because it was the first one that we won, or last year, because we beat both teams, and I had my dad there to watch me as well.
The experience of playing at Old Trafford against the other two services, the Army and the Navy, just having the experience itself, but then having everyone's families around, everyone getting involved, getting in the mix. Yeah.
Last year, winning the under-23s in the services, and then following that, winning the seniors in the services straight after, so back to back.
It's probably when I was back at school, so not too long ago, back in year 11. Won the County Cup final,
just outside of where I'm from. Got the whole school was there, whole family. Scored the winning goal, so I went over to the crowd, celebrated with the fans. So yeah, it was decent.
We were getting to the Kentish Cup final. I was the skipper for my local team, and it was just a proud moment for me. It was just a great journey. Played plenty of rounds in it, and although we didn't win, it was just because it was my local team, good friends, growing up with them. It was just good time.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dixon, and this is In Case You Missed It. It was Army's success in the latest big game of the Inter-Services American Football Championship. Andrew Lewis scored twice as the Jackals defeated the Royal Navy by a 27-8 score at Tilsley Park. It means the final match pitting the Jackals against the RAF Mustangs next week will be a winner-take-all title decider. Remy on top. It was double success for the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers at the 2025 Intercorps Indoor Hockey Championships. The men's final saw Corporal Scott Rawlins score twice as the Royal Engineers were beaten by a 4-2 defeat in Aldershot. The women's showpiece match saw the Remy take a 2-0 win again over the Engineers. It's been another great year for Royal Navy karting. The final round of the Armed Forces Championship took place in Wales, and the Navy completed an all-timer season by walking away with the Inter-Service Cup, Endurance Title, Station Trophy and the SC Class Championship. Racers from all three services impressed in the final round, but the Navy stay on top. Is there anyone better to get a surfing lesson from? The Army's latest meet involved a coaching session from former professional surfer and current GB coach Luke Dillon. Newquay was the picturesque venue for the Army event as the sport continues to grow in the service. One to watch. RAF boxer Harry Jacques continued to gain momentum ahead of the RAF Championships. In recent bouts, he's defeated opponents from the Army, RAF, Eastern Counties and Yorkshire as the anticipation builds for bigger events.
Only the strong survive. 4-5 Commando are taking it on, and Forces News is tracking them as they're tested alongside their American counterparts.
We're now on Operation Totemic, be ready to move in short notice.
So what you have behind me is around 300 military vehicles and 1,000 personnel, all mission ready.
All along it, at regular intervals, are hydrophones. They're listening for any sign of a submarine.
I've 125 landing.
Our job is to protect the people flying. It's a lot of responsibility. You've got people's lives in your hands.
This is the ops room. There are very sensitive activities going on in there, but we've been given permission to go in. Let's take a look.
The four-legged force is a vital capability.
So we treat them as if they're Marines.
This is the first-person view from a racing drone. Military drone racing is one of the British Army's newest official sports.
It's 50% skill and 50% emotion and just keeping rock solid.
Referee blows his whistle. UKAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here. And that's a fantastic ball through. And he scores! He goes in and it is to the back of the net. Takes it, scores! UKAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here in a famous victory. It is in the net! Dutchman with a real opportunity. They have got the equaliser. Celebrate because they are the Kentish Cup champions. So lots more Kentish Cup football to look forward to then, starting on Wednesday, of course. We'll have the action for you when the French join the fray when they take on the Dutch here at Slough. And then on Friday, what could turn out to be the deciding match in this season's competition when UKAF take on the French. Kath Brazier has just joined me. Kath, obviously you're presenting for us today, and I think you'll be having a chat with probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, a very happy winning captain at the end, because UKAF have really dominated that first half, haven't they?
Yeah, and do you know what, actually, speaking to a couple of them before, I think it's difficult every Kentish Cup, but this is so different for the last to what it has been for the last decade, because it's a whole new sort of team that are in. And I've got no less faith in them than I've had in the last decade in the team that have been in. But there are so many people who are deployed. There are so many who are on ships around the world. So I think a few of the older hands were just not complacent, which is always a good thing. But they're a bit worried that they sort of, they've got so much to live up to that they wouldn't be able to sort of put their stamp on the game like they have done. But actually, they've come out here and it's really nice to see some really fresh faces living up to that sort of Kentish Cup, especially recent history that we've seen from this UKAF side.
Absolutely, and you only have to pick out the performances of George Bishop and Jack Barber, Ryan Kenyon in that first half, and at the back as well, Alfie Rogers rather. They have been absolutely superb, and they are sort of a lot of the newcomers who've come in to the team. They've made, it is, you're quite right, it's almost like a seamless transition, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think people were just nervous that perhaps that was going to take a little bit longer. But, they had a good training camp last week. They've already been in camp to get the new faces in a couple of months ago. So I think Joe Collins has definitely instilled that feeling of camaraderie across the three services that we've seen that makes this team. And also what he's done is he's got this keep attacking motto on the shirts, and I think that is very much a Joe Collins thing, but also it keeps in with that ethos that UKAF have had. It's not about an attacking game, it's just about keep going forward, keep pushing your limits, which is what we're seeing here today. So yeah, really pleased to see a 2-0 lead at half time.
Well, the Dutch will definitely come back, of course, in the second half. They know they've got a lot to do. Kath, thanks very much indeed for your thoughts and on that first half. And maybe we're going to have more goals to look forward to in the second period as Gaz Dunn joins me once again with both sets of players out on the pitch. The referee is there, so I think we're just about ready to get this second half underway. I haven't seen any major changes. I think there might have been a couple of changes for the Dutch at half-time. Certainly N.A. Ulgenson has come on wearing number 20. I can see him, so he's a change for the Dutch. Just looking around the UKAF team, I wouldn't imagine that Joey Collins has made any alterations from what was a very, very strong first-half performance, Gaz.
Yeah, it looks like Joey's kept the same 11 out. So, yeah, hopefully keep building on what we achieved in the first half, I think.
Well, 2 minutes past 3 in the UK is the time as we get this second half underway with UKAF in the white shirts and blue shorts, kicking from left to right as we watch from the stand here, looking towards the main stand here at Slough Town FC, home of the Rebels, and but the Rebels wearing white shirts have certainly got a cause today. They're doing very well. There was a chance of an offside there. Ryan Kenyon just stepping away. In fact, the offside flag has gone up in the end. So I wonder what Joey would have been saying at half time then, guys. I know you wandered over to the main stand there. Did you hear any teacups flying around the home dressing room at all?
No, nothing like that. I don't think there was any football boots getting thrown or anything, Alison Ferguson style. No, I think Joe will just go for the just keep doing what you're doing. I think keep it settled, especially the first 5-10 minutes. Keep it tight, and then just go again and keep doing what you're doing in the first half, I think.
So the Dutch have made a change. Their number 4 has come on for them. In fact, I don't see a number 4 on their team sheet. So yeah, they handed me the team pretty late on actually. So we don't have a complete list there that might have been helpful for us. But anyway, we'll continue, and that's the ball not forward there. Certainly they've got the number 20 on, and that is Ulsini who's come on. But UKAF once again breaking down on this right-hand side. This is George Bishop. Finds Brodie Gray. Gray, low cross in. I think Ryan Kenyon expected Bishop to still be there, but he'd come in field.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there, but proves what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that ball forward, trying to put the pressure onto him. So, yeah, I don't think Joe would be complaining too much about trying to get forward as quick as we can.
Yeah, Fred Walliser is wearing number 4. That's him there on the ball now. And the Dutch starting off this second half in a way that they began the first. Confident on the ball, looking for a wide ball, but it's well cut out by Philip Bright. And here comes Ryan Kenyon, taking on a couple of challenges and approaching the penalty area, and he will win the corner. That's the 4th corner of the game for the UKAF team, and well, corners have proved very useful so far.
Yeah, definitely. It's great going forward there by Ryan, really trying to force something there and trying to get down the line and one UKAF a corner, and hopefully now we can have a mark or Alfie's head on it at the back, or even Sam's if we can.
So Brodie Gray then will take the corner. Another in-swinger aimed at that far post. Mark Drysdale on the end of it. Ball comes out to George again. He's got his confidence up, hasn't he, is George Bishop. He really has. He's thoroughly enjoyed that first half, and I'd imagine that he'll be having a few more pot shots. I'm sure that Joe will be saying, let's get a third goal, and let's just make put this game not to bed, but let's just give ourselves that third goal as a cushion.
Yeah, 100%, John. And as we learned 3 years ago when our last home UKAF, goals make a difference in this competition. So yeah, I think that'll definitely be in Joey's mind now, right?
Skipper Verrads. Looking for the long ball forward, but it's meat and drink really for the big UKAF defenders. Nicely won again. Sam Dawson has had a really good game, as has Jack Barber. Gray, back to Barber again, and Gray. Dutch sneaking in there to get it, and they'll win the throw-in. Jack Barber, who's again making his position very clear on the 23 years old combat medtech. He's from Stoke-on-Trent, and he's just become a dad. So I wonder whether his little girl Maeve is watching today. I bet she is. Probably doesn't realise that Daddy's doing a great job for UKAF football at the moment, but here they come once more, the UKAF, and well, opportunities going wide on the left-hand side. And our half-time cup of tea has arrived, which is very valuable indeed.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you so much.
It's definitely a bit.
It's that kind of a day when you need a half-time cup of tea. Here's Brodie Gray on this right-hand side, taking on the defender. Flicks the ball in. Once again takes the 1-2, and that'll be yet another corner for UKAF. They've just got so much confidence at the moment on this right-hand side that we're kind of thinking another goal is not beyond the realms of possibility.
No, they definitely look threatening. Every time UKAF come forward at the moment, it looks like they could actually create something and then actually get that goal. Bright there with his right hand up, which obviously means something they've been working on, obviously in training last week. So hopefully you can get the head on this goal.
So Phil Bright then with the corner, and this near side, floated in, goes back outside. This is a touch from Elliot Holmes. Campbell lays it off. Here's Holmes again, looking to work his way through, but this time just ran out of space in the end, didn't he? And it was Leymans, I think, Bob Leymans, who guided it out, and the Dutch will now bring it forward.
Yeah, it was great defended by Leymans there. He's done really well to keep him off his strongest foot, and then obviously just forced a mistake there.
Dutch trying their very hardest to work their way out of their own half. But again, the long ball not really achieving anything. Lovely work then from Jack Barber once more.
George, I think if the Dutch are going to play that ball, I think they just need to keep it away from Alfie, really. He's just winning everything in the air there.
So it's meat and 2 veg for him. Or a vegetable terrine if you happen to be vegetarian. It's Brodie Gray. Nice ball in again to Barber. UKAF just happy to enjoy the possession that their 2-0 lead deserves. And Phil Bright. He puts the cross in. Campbell's chasing it, but the goalkeeper gets there first.
That's another great ball by Bright there.
Causing all sorts of damage really for the Dutch this afternoon. And they're playing really, really well. He's Rads, the captain. Dutch finding it hard to really break out of their own half of the field. He's back with the skipper again.
That's well worked by
Okay, this time here's a chance then. Another substitute is Dennis Wiggins, who's on. A few changes have been made. The referee says that is a goal kick.
Yeah, great cover by Alfie there, gets a cross. And just number 7 there just runs it out of play, Young Bollock.
Yeah. He actually was quite dangerous in that first half. I mean, he showed a lot of good touches, I think.
Yeah, when the ball went up to him, he did seem to have a bit of a threat about him. I think now, hopefully, our back line's got used to it now and just kind of worked out what his game plan is.
Neither side really establishing themselves yet in this second half. But, that will suit UKAF. The longer this game goes on at 2-0, the happier they will be. And certainly Los McCormick is having to run around to keep himself warm at the moment. He's not really been tested too much, has he, in this first certainly in this first 55 minutes, 54 minutes.
Yeah, I think he had that real chance where he hit the post in the first half. Other than that, everything's been pretty easy for him. But I think number 9, Moonen, I think he's done. I think he's felt his hamstring a bit there.
Yeah, that's Moonen rather, who's he's not had much joy really in that first half. As Jimmy Moonen.
Yeah, he's definitely done coming off this near side.
It's a disappointment really when the team's only just arrived here and he's picked up an injury which will almost certainly keep him out of the game on Wednesday as well against the French. That's disappointing. And handshakes all round, and that's one of the great things about this Kentish Cup competition. Again, there's huge sportsmanship. I've been to the socials that you have after the games, and the players do get together, don't they? And they talk to each other, and they exchange lots of memories and whatever, and that is the whole ethos of this competition.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, across UKAF and football alone, to be honest with you, even whether it's our men's team or our women's team, we've got great camaraderie with the Bundeswehr, with the Irish, and we're all in the Kentish Cup as well, and it's really good to see that not only is it on the field of play, that it's a real great sporting spectacular, but when it comes to off the field of play in a social setting, they all remember each other. They all remember each other from a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever they played together against each other before. So, yeah, it's really good that we've got those opportunities off the field of play as well.
Here's De Haas, back to his captain again. Patient play from the Dutch, but again the ball is wayward. It's collected by Phil Bright, almost anticipating. This is a great run from him, but unfortunately no one from UKAF in there first, and the ball put out of play in the end for the Dutch by Fred Woosner. Here's Brody Gray. Nice touch in. Bishop finds the number 7. The goalkeeper has to make the save, but it's rifled back towards the goal. And Brody Gray with the attempt, but eventually the Dutch get it clear. Mike Campbell is down in the box,
he needs to stop
and it looked like he might have collided with the post.
Just
actually.
Just stop the match.
The referee needs to stop the game now, so that and this is a bit worrying. Mike Campbell is down. He looks like he might have collided with the post, just as he was going in there for that challenge to try and get that third goal. So there's also one of the Dutch players is down as well. One of the issues about playing on this 4G pitch, of course, is that it's you know, it doesn't give too much, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't. Even when you're around on this, you feel it in your knees for a day or so. But, or maybe that's me just getting old. But yeah, there's definitely no giving the pitch. And the good thing there is, once the referee has seen it straight on, got Mark Evans, long servant of Armed Forces football there, straight on the field of play to check that he's okay.
Well, it's good to see that Mikey Campbell is okay. He's just running that off a bit. Just a bit worrying for a few moments there, where he's just going over to have a word with Keith Emerson, just so that Keith can just make sure that he's okay. And he's just coming out to have a quick word, and hopefully he'll be able to carry on, none the worst for his adventure. Scoring the first goal, of course, for UKAF. They took an early lead after just 15 minutes, picking up from a defensive error, and very well collected by Campbell. Saw his chance and drove the ball into the left-hand corner of the net, before a fabulous second goal from George Bishop on the half hour. UKAF leading 2-0 and looking for a third goal, which would surely be enough to win this Kentish Cup tie. Again, lovely control, great work from Jack Barber again on that right-hand side, but left-hand side. But he eventually gives away the free kick. He's got lovely control, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's definitely got something about him there. He's always wanting to get on the front foot, always wanting to take players on, but also knows when to release it as well. So, yeah, a good future there for Armed Forces football there. That's a great.
The Dutch have a chance of coming through, and great defensive work again for UKAF there, and that I think was Phil Bright. Yeah,
Bright as ever,
yeah.
and that his pace just saves us so many times, and that's done over the years as well.
And that could well have been the best chance that the Dutch have had in the game so far, certainly in the second half.
Yeah, 100% there, John. I think it's good when we've got somebody like Bright who can cover like that, because that was definitely a chance if he's not there then.
They do have a corner, swung in from the left-hand side, picked up by the number 4 again, who's good control, keeps hold of it. Dutch will spread it wide onto this left-hand side. Ball comes down. And don't worry, if you're hearing a funny old buzzing noise, that's nothing to do with our coverage. That's the sound of the PA system deciding to have a bit of a sense of humour failure. But it seems to have finished now. And Luso will take the throw in for the Dutch.
And this is the thing we need to be aware of as UKAF at the moment. The Dutch are still threatening. They've still got stuff in their arsenal that can hurt us. So we just need to keep our composure and just not get a bit complacent.
As you say, that third goal is absolutely crucial. Mike Campbell chasing it then on towards the edge of the penalty area. He's still holding it up well, looking for some support. But good defensive work in the end by the Dutch player. Referee has given the free kick to the defender. I think he felt he got a hand in his face there. So we've been playing, 55 minutes here, 56 minutes, still 2-0 to UKAF, this opening Kentish Cup tie of the 2025 season, and all looking pretty good for the team in white at the moment, as they look to defend the title they won last year in Holland. Well, retained, I should say, last year in Holland, and won back in France in 2023. Having lost it on a goal difference the year before in the UK. That was quite a challenge, and I think the referee has said it was an unfair challenge, and it is a penalty to the Dutch. Well, I'm not quite sure that Alfie Rogers can have any complaints there with that one. It was certainly a push, and he went down.
I think he's given it for the clip on the ankles, to be honest with you. I think there was a slight nudge in the back, which I don't think is impactful enough, but yeah, I think when it comes to it after that, I think he's clipped him on the ankles. I think that's a penalty. But
a chance to put the Dutch back into this. It is their big number 5, De Haas, who's going to take it. Jimmy De Haas. An An opportunity then for the Dutch to get themselves back into this game. Really important moments then in this Kentish Cup tie. UKAF were flying. De Haas takes it. Oh, and the goalkeeper makes the save. But eventually it's forced over the line. And McCormick has taken a knock as well. I think he was trying to make the save. And the challenge went in to stop him. And I think he's taken a bit of a blow there. But the long and the short of it is the Dutch are back into this game at 2-1 with the penalty eventually forced over the line by De Haas. Still receiving some attention is Los McCormick, which is again slightly worrying. He's just getting up now. And it was a really good save, actually. He managed to push the ball, I think, onto the post, didn't he? And it went back across the line and was eventually forced over the line. So a really good save from the goalkeeper. But unfortunately for UKAF, the rebound came back out and was put into the net by the Dutch.
Yeah, I've just looked at that replay. 100% a penalty there. But yeah, Loz is unlucky there. He's got a real good hand on it, got it onto the post, and then obviously the Dutch just reacted quicker and managed to get to that rebound before we do.
See how Los McCormick is faring. I think he's fair to say he's probably the oldest man in the squad, isn't he, at 39 years old. From Coleraine in Northern Ireland. So it's 2-1. Game on here. And really, I think the Dutch will be pleased. You said they were still looking dangerous. They were still having opportunities. So UKAF have now just got to maybe rethink this one through. Champagne football we saw in the first half. They can carry on playing some really nice tight stuff, and who knows, a third goal could come their way. But the Dutch are back in this game, make no mistake. Cross comes over, goalkeeper makes the save. And Mikey Campbell goes in for it, but it's onto the bar and touched into the net, but an offside flag goes up. Well, it's all action here. It was, again, great work from Mike Campbell, chasing a lost cause there, and he made the goalkeeper make the save. The ball touched onto the crossbar, and it's just a shame that Ryan Kenyon was in an offside position when he touched the ball over the line. Just watching that penalty again, it was a great save, actually, a brilliant save from McCormick, and then he took a blow, as obviously he was going down for that ball to try and retrieve it and stop it from going into the net. So lots of interesting bits and pieces happening in this second half. It's 2-1 here. The Dutch now coming forward. They've got added impetus in their play.
Yeah, I think this comes back to the point we made about 10 minutes ago, John, isn't it? Where the next goal's so important. Dutch's tails are up now, and UKAF need to weather this bit of storm and then try and get that third goal, because like we say, goals do matter in this tournament.
They
massively.
Do. Yeah, handball given against Mike Campbell there. Well, I seem to remember that last year the French beat the Dutch by 5-0, didn't they? It didn't matter in the end that, but the victory was so important for UKAF against the Dutch, because if it had been a draw, then UKAF would have really had to have gone for the goal scoring against the French.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want to go into that last game knowing you've got to score 5 goals to get something from it. So
that's a great effort from Bulk again, and McCormick was equal to it.
Yeah, Bulk's definitely been there for it, hasn't he?
He has. He's been a great threat for them on this left-hand side.
We just need to settle here and just go back to what we were doing. For 60 minutes, let's be honest, we were the better side. Yeah, we now need to get a bit of composure, settle down again, not panic, and just keep doing what we're doing, because Mike Campbell here, every single time. He's
chasing it again. He's got on the wrong side of the defender, gets the cross in, but it's, again, great defensive work then from Wardenier, just to keep the attack at bay. But you're right. It's just they just need to keep the composure. I'm not sure whether maybe there's a bit of discussion going on the bench about making a couple of changes, about freshening it up a little bit. But we will see very shortly as Phil Bright once again prepares to take this corner. A good in-swinger. Challenge goes up for it.
That's a corner. That is 100. Sometimes you can't defend the undefendable, and that keeper's definitely fought that one.
Faisal has given the goal kick, and the Dutch are going to make a couple of changes now as well. Looks like they're bringing a few more reinforcements on. In fact, they're taking their number 2, Adrianse, off, and also their number 8 is going off, Van Boxall, who scored against UKAF 12 months ago. So the changes have been made. And Sven Boer has come on, number 3. Big central defender. Look at him, he's about 7 foot tall, I think. He's come on, and it looks like they've brought on, in fact, he's the central defender, but in fact I think they brought him on as a striker. Definitely. Yeah, they brought some attacking firepower on to really challenge UKAF here. The other player who's come, I think, is just number 25, I think. Lucas van den Ven has come on as well. So they're certainly making those changes with a view to getting back into this game. They feel they can do. They got the goal from a penalty. It was a clear penalty. It wasn't disputed. There was no really dispute from the UKAF players. And the Dutch are already approaching the UKAF penalty area. They're going to have to defend well, UKAF, here. This last half hour or so that we've got.
Yeah, they've obviously seen that Alfie and Mark have just been dealing with headers really well at the back for that ball over the top that they do have as an outlet, especially up towards Balak. So I think they're trying to counter that now, put 2 tall lads up front, and see what they can do now. We just need to get a bit of composure, get this ball on the deck again, start playing football, because like we said before, here they come again down the left.
Yeah, this is the substitute who's come on. Eventually it finds its way back to McCormack, but already Sven Boer looks a tough customer there. He's come on into that attacking role, and he's got a bit of pace about him as well as his height, so that could be a real threat. So that's something that Alfie Rogers and Mark Drysdale and Sam Dawson are going to have to keep a close eye on here.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like you've got Browners down there, Joey and Keith looking like they're potentially going to make a sub as well for UKAF and try and counter this.
And there he is again, Boer. Shot comes in, but that is no danger whatsoever. Wouldn't even have cleared the post in a game of rugby, that one.
No, but I would like my ball back though.
That's probably landed on our car, actually, just parked outside there behind the stand.
Yeah, that's not ideal. But yeah, just going on to a few other things at the moment, if you don't mind, John, while it's this sub's being made. We've been quite lucky recently over the last 2-3 years since Brigadier Lee and a few of us have been in. We managed to get some good sponsors. We've got Motorola Solutions now, yourselves who support us adequately as well, by doing stuff like the live streams, which we can't thank you enough. And we've got iPro who provide us with our isotonic drinks, and also Heckle and Koch, who are absolutely sensational, and also Systematic that have now come on board as well. So UKAF football's looking healthy, and we're looking forward to the next 3 months of pure games, 3 months with 3 international fixtures, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can win all those.
Well, Harry Beckley has come on as a substitute for UKAF, wearing number 19. He's come straight onto the pitch, and immediately he's won a free kick. And he's a dangerous player as well, is Beckley. And just to boost things up front, I'm just seeing who he's come on for. I didn't see who went off. Actually, we were just in a discussion at the time. I've got a feeling it's Campbell. It's a great header forward. Beckley just slips over just at the wrong moment. The Dutch will win the throw. Jack Barber who's gone off. No, Jack Barber is still on. I think it's George Bishop who's gone. No, Bishop is still on. I'm just.
Yeah, is Bishop still on? Is he? Yeah, Bishop's on.
Or is it Ryan Kenyon who's gone off, number 7? I think it's Ryan who's gone off. Ryan's gone off. So now here's Beckley again. He can pick that ball up. Looks like he was fouled again.
Yeah, it's coming back for the first one there. I think the second one's actually a good challenge, but yeah, definitely a foul on Harry there.
Yeah, De Haas making the unfair challenge. He's not happy with it. Well, he's just looking for a bit of afters there. But Mark Drysdale having nothing of it, nothing to do with it. Referee just bringing the 2 players over just to say, oh, yes, no, we don't need this. You know, it was a foul. Just accept it and let's get on with the game.
I think that just proves how much the tensions risen in this game since that goal that they've got.
Yeah, the Dutch did seem very passive, didn't they, in that first half, especially when the second goal went in. But you're right, that goal has given them a foothold in the match, and they will think they've got a chance here of salvaging something from the game. That was not a brilliant free kick then from Mark Drysdale, but UKAF do pick it up in the end. Wide onto that left-hand side. Another foul. And Jack Barber brought down this time. And the man who did the fouling there was Dennis Wiggins. Another substitute has come on.
Yeah, so
that's a yellow card.
Yeah, he stopped a promising attack there. He took him on. Just a bit of a cynical challenge there by, I think that's number 17 there for them.
Dennis Wiggins. Good Dutch name. A 2-man wall then for the Dutch here. Dangerous free kick. You've got Phil Bright over on the ball there, and Brodie Gray as well.
Could really do with something with 15 minutes to go here.
Well, yeah, what UKAF would give for a 3rd goal here, which we would feel would seal the deal, but in football you never can tell, can you? Goes in. The Dutch eventually get it clear, but only as far as the substitute has just come on. Campbell still challenging in the box. It's in! It's another brilliant goal, and this time it's George Bishop again with his 2nd goal. Brilliantly taken then on the edge of the penalty area. Well, he is absolutely lethal, isn't he? Absolutely lethal.
I'll be honest, we needed that. Because to be honest, I thought the Dutch were coming into this, and to be honest, they really did look like they could create something else. They're asking for offside. I'd have to have a look again at it, but they're asking Don. But no, great goal again by Bish.
But we don't have VAR here, which I'm sure all the UKAF players will be delighted about. 3-1 it is, and Bishop again has cemented his position as an outstanding UKAF player here with his 2nd goal of the game. After 60 minutes, UKAF now leading by 3-1 on the edge of the penalty area. It was a dangerous free kick. Dutch didn't clear it, but it was Bishop again who took it really, really well. Look at that, with his left foot. So he shows he can use his left and his right foot. All he needs now is a header to complete his hat-trick, and then it'll be the job done.
Yeah, definitely will. We could do with that extra goal as well, but he'll be well happy if he gets that. Just look back at the goal then. I don't know what they're asking for.
It didn't look offside. I mean, there didn't seem any kind of end of it. They are going forward once more. UKAF. Bright beats off one challenge, beats off a second. Still going though. Oh, he was fouled. Well, I thought it was a fair challenge, but there you go.
Yep.
Phil Bright. Well, no one from UKAF will be complaining about that.
No, that's for sure. I'm not sure if they're asking if Alfie was in the line of vision of the goalkeeper as he was coming out, or maybe it was a foul by Matty. But yeah, I can't see anything from there, to be honest with you. I think they've been a bit asking for that one.
Well, it was beautifully taken as well by George Bishop there, brilliantly taken, as was his 1st goal as well. UKAF leading by 3-1. Free kick taken low. Chance though, and
you know what? That's one off the train. That's a great worked free kick. That unlucky there by Harry.
Harry Beckley will feel he could have done better with that, as you say, as a training ground, quickly taken free kick. And when you get those opportunities, and when they come off, it's just the best, isn't it? It's just the best feeling when a free kick, that you've rehearsed in training, and that opportunity appears. But not this time for UKAF. But they have 3-1 advantage here in this opening Kentish Cup tie of 2025 against the Dutch Armed Forces, who, since they scored their goal, they've certainly pepped up their pressure on UKAF. But it was a great response from the team in white to conceding that penalty. And here they go one more time. Lovely control again from Bishop. He's really been an absolutely outstanding player for them today. Not just his goals, but his ball control. I mean, I think him and Jack Barber have been absolutely outstanding today in those sort of midfield forward positions for UKAF.
Yeah, 100%. I think they've been absolutely quality for two young players to literally take control in the middle of the park there, and they've looked dangerous every time they get the ball.
And here he goes again, Barber, this time out to Beckley. What can Beckley do? Just lays it to the side, just a little bit too much for Brodie Gray, but Beckley will try and win it back. The Dutch cleverly out of danger, bringing it out, and eventually it goes out for a goal kick anyway. Another change going to be made by UKAF.
Yeah, Matty's coming off, I think, here now.
Is that Oliver Ward who's coming on, number 17? I can't just sort of see from that far side.
Yeah, I think it is Ollie.
It's Ollie Ward, who, again, a newcomer into the team. It's actually Joe Spalding who's coming on, wearing number 18. Joe Spalding, of course, who did score last year in the Kentish Cup. And warm applause from the stand for a great performance from Mikey Campbell. He has absolutely led the line superbly today. Got the opening goal, which set UKAF on their way. But Joe Spalding, he knows a thing or two about scoring goals at this level as well. He's come on for UKAF. The second change that Joey has made so far in this Kentish Cup.
Now there it is, that change of bringing on that tall forward there, number 5.
Yeah,
gone up front now.
Well, De Haas has gone forward as well, but it's really for them. I think it's the number 3, Sven Boer, who is, he looks a very strong prospect. And obviously, from a UKAF point of view, the hope will be that he maybe starts against the French and bags a couple of goals against them. But that's to look forward to on Wednesday, when the French take to the stage here. The French team always dangerous, of course. That was a fair challenge, the referee says. Immediately Joe Spalding getting involved. Dutch still got a player down on the pitch after that challenge, but play goes on into the box and collected for them. Nice work there by UKAF, bringing it clear. Beckley cleared forward again, and Spalding now chasing. And he's brought down. The referee says that is a free kick.
That's a blatant caution there. I don't think he's getting away with that one. I'll be very, very surprised. He's fuming.
Yeah, he's not happy, is he? Is Ordenier. Referee wants to have a rather more than just a word with him, as Joe Spalding was clear. Why is he known as Sleepy Joe, by the way? You can tell me that.
No comment. I don't actually know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I want to know myself now.
You just get all these lovely comments which get sent through from the players, and they write about themselves. So if that's his nickname, Sleepy Joe, I wonder. But he's unmarked at the moment, just waiting for that free kick to be floated in. Goes behind him, and header eventually goes straight into the hands of Bjorn Lansink, the Dutch goalkeeper. Nicely headed back by Mark Drysdale there.
Yeah, now got the captain's armband now that Mike is up to go off.
Looks so confident, doesn't he? That back four, the back three, as you said, being three at the back with the two wing backs on the right and the left with Gray and Bright, looked very, very solid today. It was just that the penalty obviously is the blot on the landscape as far as they're concerned, I suppose, but there's not a lot you can do about that. When you've got a player breaking forward, you've got to make the challenge, haven't you?
Yeah, you do, and to be honest, I think what we've got out here today just proves that the future UKAF is in good hands. I think two midfielders have been absolutely quality. I think the back three with young Alfie as well as Mark have been absolute class today.
Yeah, it's been an excellent performance all round from UKAF. Another substitute is being lined up on that far side of the field for them as well. Another change, and this will be the last change, I guess, that Joey can make. You can bring 5 on, can't you? But you can only make them on at 3 separate occasions.
We've actually changed it.
Have you?
Yeah, we've changed it because the main reason in service football, we're here to play football. So now we've changed it to 5 from 7 and got rid of the free opportunities piece because. I'll use the Dutch as an example. They brought their team across who wanted to play football. We don't want not bringing people on just because they've had to stop the game 3 times for tactical reasons. So, yeah, we've just changed that this year.
Well, the player going off is George Bishop, who has been absolutely magnificent for them today. What a terrific debut he's made in Kentish Cup football. 2 great goals and an excellent contribution that George Bishop has made to UKAF. What a great start that is for his UKAF career. Really excellent performance from him. And just seeing who's come on, it looks like it's Rory England who's come on wearing number 16. He's an officer cadet, isn't he, in the Royal Air Force? So he's coming on to make his debut as well. So probably the youngest player in the team. He wouldn't reveal his age. But he's come on, he's wearing number 16. That'll be safely into the hands of the goalkeeper. Makes a good punch there. UKAF threatening, and now on the break, can UKAF do something? But the Dutch still have it on that far side of the field.
They definitely still pose a threat with 5 minutes to go. I definitely won't rule them out just yet.
Ullinson challenge for it, and that is a goal kick. Good defensive work once more from UKAF at the back there to keep their corner count down. I think it's just 4 corners that the Dutch have had in this game.
Yeah, something definitely I think we should go out to do, to be honest with you, because the Dutch, I tell you, they've got some height on that pitch now.
They have got some height. But important, and if UKAF not for the Dutch to score again, they still look dangerous. Right, opportunity then for them with Jay Spalding here on this left-hand side. He's got 1 defender to beat. Spalding takes it wide, and eventually he goes out for a goal kick. Just ran out of space, didn't he, in the end?
Yeah, he was looking to get that ball across. We had 2 people with Harry and that's getting into the box, getting forward. So, yeah, a bit unlucky there.
Dutch just quicker to the ball at the moment than we've seen throughout the whole game. Yeah. Great defensive work again. That's brilliant play then from Sam Dawson. Wins the free kick in the end. He's been absolutely terrific at the back for them. There have been some great performances today.
Yeah, there really has. Like I said earlier, back 3 have been absolute class, 2 midfield class. Took our opportunities throughout, and with 5 minutes to go, yeah, hopefully we can keep this lead, if not build on it. But one thing I've got to say is the Dutch were 2-0 down, 25 minutes to go, and absolutely credit to them because they fought back, and I think this last 20 minutes have really stepped up.
Yeah, this has been it's been a really good Dutch performance in the end. They could have, when they conceded the second goal, in the second half, and they weren't really getting anywhere, but they went for it, and getting the penalty in a way, it revived the match, didn't it? It made it much more competitive, and UKAF knew they would have to go forward again. They couldn't just sit back on the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, that's exactly. Credit to the Dutch, and to be honest, I think if it continued like that, they would have created more chances. I think that 3rd goal has been critical, because let's be honest, 3 minutes to go now, it would have been a very tense, let's just say, 5 minutes or so.
Well, there's still some space there on that right-hand side. Great shot comes in. And it was a brilliant save in the end from Los McCormack to deny the substitute to Emmy Ullenson the opportunity, and he took it really well. It was a great right foot shot and a brilliant save from Los McCormack. And the one thing that UKAF really don't want to do is concede another goal at this late stage, as you say.
No, because with the substitutions that happened and the stoppage that we had in the middle as well earlier on, there could be a few minutes added on here.
UKAF clearing the ball again. The chase is on from the young number 16 Rory England. Still going for it, and they've won a free kick.
Offside there. Ryan Everton's got his flag up for an offside position over there.
Takes the pressure off UKAF a little bit. And I say all credit to the Dutch, they're still going for it here, despite the short amount of time that we've got left in this opening fixture in the Kentish Cup 2025.
Yeah, exactly. They know just as much as we do how much goal difference matters. Even if they lose 3-2, it does not rule them out in this competition. One goal difference, you never know what's going to happen in the next two games.
And I think the Dutch will take quite a bit of confidence from the way they've come back in this game in the second half. Here's Spalding though. Real opportunity. It's 3 against 2. Spalding goes the whole way, goes down, but there'll be nothing doing there. I think he was very optimistic, wasn't he?
Yeah, they're screaming for it in the middle there. I think he's got to pull that ball across personally.
Not all done yet. Here's Beckley. Harry Beckley then on this right-hand side. Can he get a cross in? It's a very good cross. Defender gets it clear. Falls to England. Back out to Beckley. And the cross. Spalding was waiting for it. But now the Dutch have got a chance. It's actually end-to-end stuff here at the moment as they push for a second goal here. Ball goes cross-field. It's in. Another great save from McCormack. That's the second magnificent save that he's made just in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
That's a great save. That could be absolutely critical.
What's a save? It was almost point blank, wasn't it?
That's a great save, that. At any level of football.
There have been some outstanding performances here today, both at the back and front. But this is so open at the moment. It's almost like the match is level. But forget that UKAF have got a 3-1 lead here. The Dutch still going for it and still thinking we can get another goal here to really make this an exciting last few moments.
Yeah, just in stoppage time now. And I think for UKAF now, just make sure you don't concede and then see if you can get one on the break.
England cuts it out. Here's Beckley. Out to Brodie Gray. Nice work from Beckley though. This is calming it down a bit. And Drysdale back to his goalkeeper. And a throw into UKAF. Just calm it down, boys. It's so open now, isn't it, this game?
Yeah, it's definitely opened up. I think the Dutch just can see that they can create something here and try and get that goal back. I think trying to get 2 might be a bit optimistic now, but
they could quite easily have had 2 goals though, couldn't they, Gaz? Quite easily.
Yeah, great save there by Losin earlier, and then that second was a world-class save in my opinion. I think he's done really well.
Yeah, it certainly was. And just waiting for the throw to be taken. Making a few yards down that pitch. That's nice work from Spalding. Can Beckley keep it in? Can Brodie Gray keep it in?
Yeah,
offside, unfortunately, against Harry Beckley there. Just timed his run a little bit too quickly. And the Dutch will be anxious to take it again. Here's De Haas. Now, chance for Ollie Ward, who's come on, number 17. That's great play from him. Into the edge of the box. Puts the ball across and
great save.
It was a good save from the goalkeeper. I'm sure Joe Spalding thought that he'd just done enough. Just didn't have quite so much power on it, but a great save from the goalkeeper. Can UKAF get a fourth here? England goes into the box. Phil Bright. It's a free kick, though, to the Dutch. My word, this is exciting at the end, isn't it, guys?
I know, the proper end-to-end football
it's
here
like
at the
a
moment.
Cup, well, it is a cup tie, of course it is, but it feels like a, you know, like we're dead level and the teams are going for a winner. But just to remind you that UKAF do have a 3-1 lead here.
Yeah, we say I'm glad it's not 3-2. Let's just say that. I'm glad Loz pulled off that save, because this could be tense right now.
Heart in mouth moments. He's going for it, and again it's blocked. Great defensive work again, and that was Sam Dawson who was on the end of that shot there from Willington. And now going forward again is Ollie Ward. Nice bit of football from the goalkeeper, but Spalding chasing after it. Here's Beckley, goes down, wins the free kick, and that's perfect for UKAF. Great position.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes into stoppage. I don't know how much more he's got added on here, but yeah, it's good that it's up this end of the field of play at the moment, and you never know. Let's see if we can get that another goal and get a good goal difference.
The light just beginning to go here. Yes, a 4-1 win would be absolutely just what the doctor ordered. But 3-1 is good. It's Brodie Gray over there. And eventually the free kick from Sam Dawson. No problem for the goalkeeper, who very quickly gets that ball away. But it's headed back into Dutch territory.
Yeah,
it's Elliot Holmes. Lovely cross from Phil Bright. The goalkeeper Lansing quickly finds his man.
I do actually think, I think a 3-1 scoreline is probably fair, to be honest with you. I think 4-1, I think I'm a bit harsh on the Dutch, but
nice work from England. Takes it wide onto the left-hand side just to calm it down a bit, getting a bit of support, and that support is in the form of Harry Beckley, who loses out. Really good challenge from the number 5 from De Haas. This is really exciting stuff in stoppage time here.
I think the ref's about to blow.
Well, no, he's allowed play to go on. And again, great defensive work, which will earn a corner for the Dutch, but that was really important from Alfie Rogers there, making that challenge.
I actually thought he was going to blow for full time then, actually. We're 5 minutes in now.
This could be the last kick of the game then, with UKAF leading by 3-1, and it would be unfortunate if the Dutch, well, certainly from UKAF's point of view, if the Dutch were to score here. Good corner comes in, it's headed clear again. Out for another corner. Referee's going to allow that to happen. Sam Dawson on the end of that. One more corner then for the Dutch to add to their corner. It goes deep to that far post. And that is indeed the last kick of the game. And it's a very, very convincing win for UKAF. Well, a satisfactory, more than satisfactory win for UKAF by 3-1 here. And brilliant performance from the team today, with 2 goals from George Bishop. Mike Campbell, the captain, scoring the first one out of 15 minutes. Gaz, you can breathe a sigh of relief now.
Yeah, that is true, because to be honest, I thought the Dutch for the last half an hour there were absolute quality. I think at times they looked threatening. They definitely had the opportunities. I think Loz has pulled off a couple of great saves there to keep that scoreline going. So it's a good start to the Kentish Cup for us. Still 2 more matches to go. Obviously, Dutch and the French on Wednesday, and then us on Friday against the French. But yeah, done well. I think we deserved the win. But yeah, I thought the Dutch were.
Well, that first goal, it was so important, wasn't it, on 15 minutes, and taking advantage of a defensive mistake, because the Dutch had been on top a little bit in those first few minutes. But Mikey Campbell, took it really, really well for the first goal. And then, of course, the second was an absolute rocket, wasn't it, from George Bishop? A drive from 20 yards out, took it so well. For the second goal to put UKAF 2-0 up at the half-time stage. In the second half, they threatened and came very close, I think, to getting a third goal before the Dutch got their penalty, which really opened the game up, didn't it? And I think it was a fair decision, the penalty in the end.
Yeah, penalty's a good decision by the referee. Just caught him on the ankles and yeah, good save by Loz on the penalty, but obviously they reacted a bit quicker and got that goal, and then they looked dangerous then, to be honest with you. They did.
But it was really important for that third goal for UKAF, and again, brilliantly taken, this time with his left foot by George Bishop to put UKAF into the 3-1 position, and it stayed 3-1. We could have had goals at either end, though. Two great saves from Loz McCormick, kept it at 3-1, and, well, it was, in the end, I think a fair result and a fair scoreline. And 4-1 might have been a bit tough on the Dutch.
Yeah, definitely. I think Loz has kept us in it there at the end a little bit, but so has the Dutch. The Dutch keeper's made a good save there at the end with his feet as well. So, yeah, I think 3-1's a fair result today. I thought for us we dominated pretty much for about 45-50 minutes. I thought they did well the last 20 minutes or so.
Okay, Gaz, thanks very much. We can now go pitch side and we can hear from two players who've made a massive impact on the game today. Mike Campbell, the captain, and also George Bishop, and they're both talking now to Kath Brazier.
Okay, so I am with winning captain Michael Campbell and both goal scorers, but of course George got 2 there. First of all, Cammy, from a team perspective, a great start. I know it's a lot of new faces, but another win, a 3-1 win, pretty decisive for your team for the start of your Kentish Cup defence.
Yeah, at times it was probably a little bit more open than we would have liked, but I mean, we've got, I think, about 8 or 9 new debutants this season, which is credit to them coming into their first Kentish and making such a good impact and getting us off to a flying start.
Well, getting us off to a flying start, you scored the first goal, a captain's innings, as I would say, but really good to get that one. I know it was off a Dutch mistake, but you know, you put your captain's innings in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always ready for them sort of balls over the top. I like to prey on mistakes. Luckily, when it come through to me, it settled right in front of me. Just put my foot through it, really. Glad to see it going so early in the game as well.
Now, George, as soon as you scored the first one, we had a clamour. They were like, "You've got to speak to him, get him to speak through that goal." And then you scored another one at the other end, a very similar goal. You are the new name in UKAF football. Absolutely loving it. What a great first match for you.
Yeah, I mean, first goal, just come to me on the edge. Just thought I was gonna put my foot through it, and it did come off. As a whole, like, the team was playing really well, easing into the game. Got a few more touches. Second half, we're like, just keep it simple, keep it smart, and then that one on the edge of the box, Cammy's gone down, everyone's stopped, and I've just wellied it. So luckily it's gone to the back of the net. But yeah.
Is this something you do week in, week out, or are those the sort of goals you dream of?
I'd like to say I do it week in, week out, but I'd like to say that's no, I don't. Yeah, that's probably those are the moments you dream of, and that first one, the feel it gives you to get it twice in a game, it's unreal, especially on my UKAF debut as well. So.
Exactly. Please do more of the same on Friday. Just Cammy, quickly, obviously got a rest day on Wednesday. You'll be able to see what you're up against when the French play the Dutch. Is it nice the way as hosts you get to have that first game? And what are the plans for this week?
Yeah, it's the best format for us, really, because we've got so many new players. It's good to have the first game out the way and a win under the belt. Now we get to not relax, but we get to go into Wednesday looking at what they do well and what they do not so well, now that we know what we can do against that level. So yeah, it's the perfect scenario for us, and we get more rest.
Great. Boys, we'll see you again on Wednesday and Friday. Congratulations, and yeah,
cheers.
Thumbs up.
Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.
Thanks very much indeed, and great to hear from Mike and George there talking to Kath. And, well, it couldn't have been a better way for UKAF to get their Kentish Cup campaign underway. A 3-1 victory here this afternoon against the Dutch Armed Forces. We'll be back, of course, on Wednesday when the Dutch will entertain the French for the first time in this competition, and then on Friday, of course, the UKAF team will take on the French Armed Forces. But that's it from our coverage here today. My thanks to Gaz Dunn for your co-comments this afternoon. Gaz, great joining us for the first time on commentary today, and very satisfactory for you.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, John, to you and CAF and all at BFBS for all your continued support. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me today.
It's our pleasure to be here. Join us again on Wednesday from CAF, Gaz, myself and all the team here. A very good afternoon. Thanks very much for your time, and please join us again later on in the week for more Kentish Cup action. UKAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here. And that's a fantastic ball through. And he scores! He goes in, and it is to the back of the net. Takes it, scores! UKAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here in a famous victory. Touchdown with a real opportunity. They have got the equal.